The success that you have with fasting has everything to do with the foods that you eat after you fast. So we're looking at how you break your fast and the foods you eat thereafter. So that's why in this video, we're going to talk about the foods that you should eat and the foods that you should not eat in order to get the most out of your fast and not mess up all of your hard work. So let's go ahead and dive in. But before we do, I'm Dr. Nick Zyrowski, and it's a pleasure having you here in this video with me. Let's take a look first at 16 and 8 and 1 meal a day. We're going to lump these two together because it makes sense. They're very similar in fashion. We're going to break these fasts the same way. Now, when I break my fast, the way I like to do it is with a coffee. I like that caffeine boost, and also I put collagen and MCTs in it. I specifically do this because I want the gut healing benefits that the collagen has to offer and the joint healing benefits it has to offer, that amino acid profile. And then the MCTs are going to give me a nice boost. It's that quick brain energy. I will be specific though. I use a powdered MCT. This is important because a oil-based MCT will cause gastrointestinal distress in many people. And I'll put a link in the description below to the collagen MCT mixtures that I use here because it's awesome. I love it. And it's something I have every day. Now, how do I break my fast beyond that? Okay, what am I eating? Well, the first thing that I like to focus on is going to be fats and proteins. This is important because these fats and proteins are what your body really needs to be nourished correctly. And also it's going to help with any type of hunger issues that you might have throughout the day. If you break your fast with a bunch of junk food, like, welcome to having awful blood sugar problems and cravings, right? So if we do it correctly, we focus on the fats and the proteins, well, it's going to push off the hunger cravings. It's going to push off the blood sugar instability. It's going to make you feel good, okay? Let's get a little bit deeper. First of all, I don't like to have carbs when I'm doing 16 and 8 at lunchtime because this can make you tired. So for 16 and 8 at lunchtime, if I'm breaking my fast with that first meal, I'm doing fats, I'm doing proteins, and I'm doing no carb, and I'm doing a small meal. The reason I like to have a small meal at this time is because if you have a big meal, it makes you tired. I don't want to have a big meal and then just crush myself for the afternoon. So therefore, a chicken salad with an olive oil based dressing is going to be a great go-to for me in order to get a small meal that nourishes my body. And then I push that big meal and the carbs off till dinner time. That helps me sleep better at night. Let's move on to 1 meal a day. Well, we're essentially going to do the same thing here. We're going to first focus on the fats, the proteins, and the veggies, and then we'll put our carbs last. Typically what I'll do is eat my carbs last because there's studies that show that if you actually eat your carbs first, then you tend to have some blood sugar spikes that happen with that versus if you have your fats and your proteins and your veggies and then you put some carbs in there after that, well, your blood sugar becomes more stable. So it's an interesting fact that, well, just makes your quality of life a little bit better. Now, I also want to point out that with 1 meal a day, I like to actually extend that out over like a 2-hour period. We hear some 1 meal a day purists say you got to have it within a 30-minute time frame. You got to have that meal within a 1-hour time frame. I can promise you that over the course of the next 5 to 10 years of your life, if you add an extra hour to your 1 meal a day and you eat that meal over a 2-hour period, it is not going to change your results like at all. So therefore, if you spread that meal out and you enjoy it and you chew your food properly and you allow for your digestion to do what it needs to do, you're going to have far less bloating and potentially cramping and gastrointestinal irritation, and you're going to feel better overall. So I like to spread 1 meal a day out to 2 hours. Now, we're going to jump into the next part of this. The next part is looking at the 48-hour fast, the 4-day fast, the 7-day fast, whatever it is, and how you break that. First, I want to tell you though, why it's so important to break these fasts correctly. Now, the first reason is because we have to protect our digestive system. When you're fasting, your stomach acid is going to be lower because your stomach is producing less acid. Your digestive enzymes are going to be lower. So therefore, if you jump into a really low quality meal, you're going to have bloating, cramping, nausea, diarrhea. You're not going to feel well. Okay, so we're protecting our digestive system. This is important. Now, we're also going to prevent blood sugar spikes. This is important too, because if you eat carbs immediately after these long duration fasts, you're going to find that you're spiking your blood sugar. This is going to cause fatigue issues, brain fogs, craving, and then also it's going to literally pull you directly out of being a fat burner into someone who is storing fat on your body. Okay, we don't want that. We put too much effort in to do that. Now, from there, when you have fasted for this period of time, your body is optimized to accept nutrients. We want to put the best stuff in. We want to get the vitamins, the minerals, the antioxidants, the amino acids, all the things that your body needs to thrive at this time. And then we also want to make sure that we're continuing to focus on reducing inflammation. As we know, chronic inflammation is the root cause of the major diseases that we face today. So having foods that nourish our body, don't drive inflammation, are really important. You could imagine breaking your fast with processed foods and highly inflammatory foods. Like, this is awful for you. So we want to really put a fine point on this so that we understand, like, this is really important and mission critical in order to get the most out of your fast. And now the last reason, and I think this one's really important, is because it's going to support your metabolic and hormonal health if you eat right coming off of that fast. A well-balanced post-fasting meal is going to help keep key hormones like leptin, ghrelin, the hormones that tell you when you're hungry or full. It's going to help keep them stabilized. It also is going to help keep your insulin stabilized. And as a result of this, you won't come off your fast with a whole bunch of instability and patterns of eating. You come off your fast nice and smooth and things work out great. Now let's talk about the foods that you would eat when you break these longer duration fasts. Now, when I look at these fasts, I look at these longer duration fasts as an opportunity for healing. So let's look at foods that offer some of these healing benefits. We're going to first start with bone broth or vegetable broth. This is a great way to break your fast. It's very easy on your digestion, and there's a few key benefits that it has to offer. It's rich in electrolytes, it has collagen, it has minerals, and it's very healing. Okay, so we like this bone broth. I will tell you that one of the top things I always break my fast with is going to be a bone broth based soup. We got the bone broth in there, we have lots of good healthy proteins in it, and then lots of vegetables which are steamed and they're easy on the gut, easy for digestion. So a bone broth based soup, whether that's chicken or a beef soup, whatever it is, it's fantastic for you during this time. Now, the other thing I want to point out is don't gorge yourself. Like, we are coming off of a time where our stomach acid is low, our enzymes are low. We want to really ease back into eating in following that normal life that we once knew, right? Of course, with better foods. Now, the next food on our list is going to be cooked in non-starchy vegetables. So whether it's cooked zucchini, steamed carrots, or cooked squash, these are all really great high fiber vegetables that are also going to be easy on your gut. So I like that during this time. Very important. Do not do raw vegetables at this time. No raw vegetables, only vegetables that are steamed or cooked. Now, fermented foods is the next thing on our list that's very important during this time. I've brought up gut health multiple times. I think gut health is so important. We're looking at a time where gastrointestinal cancers are skyrocketing. We have to make sure that we're taking care of our gut health. So when you break your fast, if you use these probiotic rich foods, these fermented foods like sauerkraut or kimchi. You could even use things such as kefir. These are all great ways to get lots of good probiotics into our microbiome and really support that gut healing process that our body has just gone through. When you're fasting, it's an opportunity for your body to clear out the yeast and the pathogenic bacteria and all the bad things going on in your gut. So when we break our fast, this, of course, is also an opportunity to put the right supportive foods into your microbiome. All of these different really healthy strains of bacteria in order to provide that support to the microbiome, which ultimately helps balance your immune system and so much more. Let's talk about healthy fats. Healthy fats are important because our brain needs them, our cell needs them. In the world we live in today with the bad information out there, we're always told that fats are so bad for you, but healthy fats are in fact absolutely necessary and critical for your body to function well. So we're looking at avocados or olive oil, coconut oil, ghee. Any of these good healthy fats are awesome. They're actually going to support the nutrient absorption during this time as you get back into eating. So very important. Eating lots of protein is important, right? When we look at anti-aging longevity, our body needs protein. We got to get lots of it. And when we come off of our fast, our body is really looking in order to support the muscle tissue to get that protein in. So good healthy protein, eggs, fish, chicken, grass-fed beef, all of these are great options. It's going to help rebuild those muscles, and it's going to play a critical role in stabilizing blood sugar too. If you have blood sugar instability, remember, protein is typically a go-to for you. And so as we come off this fast, that protein is going to help with the blood sugar stability. Now, looking at where we can go from there, I like low glycemic fruits. high micronutrient dense, low glycemic fruits. They keep your blood sugar low and they have a ton of nutrient quality. Obviously, organic is ideal situation here. So any type of berries is where you're really looking here. You're looking at blackberries, blueberries, strawberries. They're all awesome at this time. They offer you some of that natural sweetener, that natural sweetness that you're probably, craving a little bit, but also they're not going to spike your blood sugar. So that's awesome. Now remember, we're using this fast as a means for healing. We're using it as a means, as a reset, right? It's so easy for any one of us, myself included, to go through life and you start getting a little bit more addicted to sugar. You start getting a little bit more addicted to caffeine. You start overeating a little bit more, and all of these bad habits creep in. One of the amazing things about fasting is that when you're fasting, it is the ultimate reset for you to jump back into normal life, reset, not addicted to all these different bad foods, not addicted to overeating. When you hit the reset button with a fast, the opportunity doesn't exist anymore. The opportunity disappears for that good reset if you don't break your fast right and you don't eat the right foods. So follow through with your fast, break your fast right, and stick to eating the good, healthy, anti-inflammatory whole foods that your body needs. And then stay disciplined with this, because if you stay disciplined, eating healthy will be easy for you. But as soon as you start to slip away a little bit, this is where all things go off the rails. And of course, you can find yourself down a really bad path and look back and go, what happened, right? And when you start seeing yourself slip, maybe it's time to jump into another fast. And you don't have to always do a 7-day fast, a 4-day fast, a 3-day fast. Jumping into a simple 48-hour fast, a simple 24-hour fast are great ways to just do a quick reset without doing those longer duration fasts, which can be a little bit more challenging for anyone who is going to work or maybe has a very physically demanding lifestyle. Doing some of these small fasts, though, are easy and can be done even on a weekly basis when we look at the 24-hour fast. So I hope you enjoyed this information. If you have any thoughts or questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments below. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And if you love this video, I think you'll like this one over here next.